This is a new experience for me. This is the first time I've talked to a group about something that's not physics, because usually I talk about physics. Now I'm going to talk about what it was like to be a physics teacher at City College and how wonderful it was. I started in 1964, retired in 2000. Wonderful, wonderful life. As soon as I got here, I was a success. I remember putting my feet up on the table on my desk. They gave me an office. Lights, chalk, room down at the end of the hall, all paid for, parking lot outside, faculty only, faculty sticker on my car. I could park my car, walk up the hill, come into my office. There it was. Let's see, what time do I go on? Walk down the hall, open the doors. Nirvana. And they paid me for 32 years. Oh, I was a success because I had escaped the lot of the working class. One of my colleagues was a failure in life because he only became a community college physics teacher. I was a success in life because I became a community college physics teacher. Different attitude. But when I came here, it was wonderful. And before I came here at the age of 34. And didn't start college until I was 28 years old. I was a late bloomer. And when I was in graduate school, it was the first time I had to get in front of people and talk. I used to be shy. I'm not shy now. I used to be shy. And I remember as a graduate assistant, that's when I would be able to get in front of students and talk about the problems that the professor would give from some physics lecture. And the first day of class began on a Tuesday, and there was no lecture. So I knew that there wouldn't be a so-called recitation section because there'd be nothing to talk about. So I showed up, and my friend said, "Oh, your class is at 10 o'clock, Hewit." I said, "No, my class is on Thursday because there's no lecture in front of it." No, you got to talk today. I'm not prepared. Well, just go in and talk about vectors or something like that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand in front of a whole lot of people and talk because I had nothing to say. And one of the things I abhorred as a student was having to sit in classes where the professor had nothing to say. And they talk. And there's no real content. Boy, I didn't want to become one of them. So I refused to teach the class. Someone else pitch hit for me. Then Thursday came. What's the professor talking about? Had all my notes, I go on at 10 o'clock. So actually it was 10 past 10. So what I did is I kept pacing around because I didn't want to come in and start talking and then people come in because I would not handle that. So I got there about 30 seconds late. And I kept going to the bathroom. Do you know how, like, you come into a house and a dog is kind of nervous and it kind of pees on the floor? Well, that's what I did. I got in front of the class, and there was a podium like this. Thank God there was a podium. There was a podium, no microphone, small room. And I peed my pants. Scout's honor. I was so terrified, talking to all these people. I peed my pants. I was so nervous. And I finished everything that I had to say in about 25 minutes. And what did I do? Class is dismissed. I didn't know what to do. So the fact that I was so nervous and insecure and shy turned out to be something very, very wonderful for me. Because what it meant was I just couldn't go in and start rapping like I'm doing now. I couldn't do that. I didn't have the confidence to do that. So I knew that, for example, if no matter how shy you are, if the building is burning down, you can go up and say, "Hey, the place is on fire. Let's get out of here, everybody." You can do that. Because what you're saying is extensional to the audience. What you're saying is valuable. They want that information. So you don't have to be shy about that. If you're giving information that is wanted, that is valued, hey, you can do it. So being shy, I prepared like a madman for my courses. And when I came to City College, this is my first teaching assignment, I was instructed to teach the course that other people didn't want to teach. It was called Descriptive College Physics. That's the course I wanted to teach, because that's the course I wanted to be like a missionary. I was so excited about finding out that everything connects in a beautiful way, we call that science, that I wanted to share that with the class. And who better to share it with people who haven't gotten that realization yet, and maybe you can light their fire and give them something. It's like saying, the place is on fire. It's important. So I prepared like a madman for those classes. Now here's the way I figured it. I've been through 6 years of formal training as a student. I took an awful lot of physics courses. I've got a class for 16 weeks. Whew. I've learned a lot of physics in those 6 years, not as much as I learned maybe 6 years after that and 6 years after that. One of the wonderful things about teaching is you keep learning. But anyway, my thinking was, I've got to compress everything I know into 16 weeks. Every one of those lectures has got to be important. It's got to have something of value. And I found out something that was no big discovery to me, is that students really value understanding what the lesson's about. And so I did have a knack for explaining. And so I would just explain, explain, explain. And I found out that students found that most enjoyable, to sit in a class and find out, hey, I understand this stuff. Because there's nothing more enjoyable than finding out that you understand more than you thought you would understand. I'm at the lake one time, and people are skipping rocks across the lake. Boom, boom, boom. And someone says, hey, I know a guy last year. He got 9 skips. You pick up a rock. 10 skips. Hey, how do you feel about yourself? You feel good. You didn't think you're going to get 10 skips, and you did. And it feels nice when you find out that you understand more than you thought you were going to understand. And of course, I had it made because I was teaching physics. And physics has a reputation of being the killer course. So anything you can do to teach a class where understanding takes place without challenging them too much and beating over the head and belittling and all that sort of thing, anything you can do to lift that understanding, wow. So the students enjoy the course.